been struck down by a terrible bout of flu this week. And so none of us want him spreading his germs all over us in here. So we have David Barron instead. Hello, David.
Hello, Dan. Hello, everyone out there. Thank you for being there.
And Mr. Barron, what do you do on this film?
I'm one of the producers of the film.
And of course, Dan, you play Harry Potter himself.
Yes, I'm zooming through my title right now.
So that brings up something, which is that we're here live. We're in London. It's 8 p.m. on a Saturday night. People are joining from all around the world and have been typing in questions ever since the DVD came out earlier this week and possibly even before. So we're going to try and get to as many questions as we can tonight, and hopefully Dan and David will be able to answer them.
Fantastic.
I'll try.
Yeah.
Shall we jump right in?
Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
I know that one of the first things, and something that people probably ask you guys a lot, has to do with the filming going on right now for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. We have a question that's come in that asks where the movie will be split, very specific.
Well, we're not going to tell you that.
No.
Actually, for two reasons. One is we don't want to spoil the surprise, and the second thing is we're not quite sure yet.
No, we're not really sure ourselves. Since we're shooting it, the whole two movies in one go, we're sort of not too much pressure on ourselves yet.
There are several points to which the book could be broken as far as the films are concerned. And we had the luxury of filming all the material, as Dan says, and when we get in the editing room. Oh, no, it's not school.
Sorry,
we just saw that. We can choose in the editing room, so it's as much of a surprise to us as it is to you.
Yes.
And of course, all 6 of the films so far have been shot here in England. This is obviously just a scene that was filmed pretty close to where we are now, at the Millennium Bridge. Can you tell us a little bit about that, David?
This was filmed on the River Thames. Obviously, we were not able to actually blow up the Millennium Bridge with a load of pedestrians on it, and so we had to design that with CG. But the setting is very real. It's the River Thames, very near to Dan's old school.
Yes, that's right.
Well, speaking of England, just to give a little bit of international flavor, we have a question coming from Josh, age 9. Who asked how you guys celebrate Christmas in Great Britain.
The only thing I'd say that we definitely do in Great Britain that I'm not sure is a custom the whole way around the world is Christmas crackers, which I'm not sure. I certainly think when I was in New York last Christmas, nobody seemed familiar with them, which is basically that you have a cracker not being a biscuit of some sort. It's just sort of how do you describe it? It's just a cracker.
It's a paper thing with inside.
With something in it that explodes when you pull it from either end, and you get a cheap toy.
They call it a party popper in the US.
It's that kind of thing. Yes, absolutely. But so we definitely all do that around the Christmas table.
As far as Europe's concerned, a lot of Europe actually give presents on Christmas Eve.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do, and we don't. We give presents on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
That's one little difference.
Or in December, early December, certainly as a child, I would try and get down there early and open them all well in advance.
Exactly.
Which I got into great trouble for.
Dan, we have a question for you asking, what HP Fangirl 22, he might guess what HP is.
Okay.
What characteristics do you and Harry share in common?
I think one of the things that we both have in common is a curiosity about life, about people. I think Harry's someone who is interested in other people and have an openness towards them, which I certainly like to think I have. And yeah, I think also his loyalty to his friends and the amount that his friends mean to him is certainly something that I think most of us would say that we sort of shared with Harry, really.
Here's a question that relates to that for you again, Dan. You spent your last few years growing up with Harry Potter. Have you become similar to the character, or has Harry taken something out of you?
To be honest, I think that Harry growing up has sort of, growing up alongside the character of Harry has sort of informed the way I've turned out. If only because due to Harry Potter, I've grown up on a film set with a group of people that I probably never would have met, being from the background I am, which is sort of quite a nice, privileged, middle-class English background, wouldn't necessarily have met the range of people that I have on Potter. And so in that way, I've only gained from the Harry Potter experience. I don't think Harry the character has directly taken anything from me, because he's fictional and he can't. But other than that, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I certainly think I've gained nothing but gained huge amounts from doing these films.
It's possible we may meet a few people tonight who don't believe he's fictional.
It is possible, yes.
That last question was from Italy, by the way. Again, people are logging in from all over the world. So we actually have a question from Japan, just talking about the making of this film. What was the most interesting backstory during the shooting of Harry Potter 6?
Oh, it's a difficult question.
That's quite a hard one. I mean, in terms of behind-the-scenes stuff, to be perfectly honest with you, that's a question we get asked quite a lot, and it's always one that is notoriously difficult to answer, because, I mean, certainly from my perspective, I have so much kind of fun day to day on the set, and I really do. I love my job. I love going to work. That it's very hard to pick out one moment, but I'm sure Japan that we will answer that question many times with many stories.
I'm sure. I think it's true. The Harry Potter film set, unlike some film sets, is a really happy place to be, actually. And it sounds a bit of a cliche, but it's a really fun place to be. Yeah. Even though there's high pressure to deliver the goods all the time. And it's always kind of fun, and actually we get asked this question quite frequently, and it's quite hard to remember somebody on the spot, but we hope to come up with something a bit later on that makes you happy.
Yes.
Well, another question you might get asked pretty frequently, but I think everyone wants to know, and this is to both of you guys, it comes from Anna and Christina in Chicago, Illinois, and it is, which is your favorite movie of the 6 so far?
Mine is still number 5. I love Order of the Phoenix. It's the one I'm proudest of on a personal note, and also I think the presence of Gary Oldman on that one. It was the first time I got to spend really a lot of time working with him, so I've great memories of the film, the shooting of the film as well as of the film itself as it turned out. I was thrilled with it.
And I can quite honestly say I don't have a favourite, actually. I love these movies, and each one, because we have the benefit of J.K. Rowling's source material, which is very different each time. Each book is very different. It's another year in the life of Harry Potter and his friends, and each one is very, very different. So the films are quite different, I think. And so I try never to compare them. I'm really proud of them all, and I still enjoy watching them.
Mm-hmm. I love this part of the film. There's always one moment early on, pretty much in every film, where you get like as if you had forgotten what it's like. There will be a sudden demonstration of magic.
I have a daughter who's 23, who you know, who watched the film on TV the night before last, and she said to me on the phone this morning, my favourite part is where that last piece of the chandelier comes out from under Dan's foot. So,
well,
you're not alone.
No, I think it's great because also, in every film there is sort of that moment at the beginning that just reminds you how cool magic is.
Yeah, and why we're here.
In the fifth one, it's the moment when the house is kind of come apart and Grimmauld Place emerges, and then in this one you've got that little moment. I think it's wonderful. I think it's great.
Well, you brought up the 5th movie, which was, of course, your first film with director David Yates, who couldn't be here tonight. I just wanted to see, for any of you who might have tuned in to hear Mr. Yates, unfortunately.
I'm sorry,
you're a fine substitute, but I just wanted to see if either of you would want to comment on what he's brought to the 2 films that he's directed so far and the 2 more that he promises in the future.
Yeah. For me, David is the thing that David has, which all of our directors have been incredibly lucky with, and they've all been kind of amazing in different ways. I think the thing David has above anyone is the ability to almost see the entire film in one still frame in front of him. He will connect huge parts of story, that especially as we're now shooting the last 2 films, we'll be doing scene 400 and something, and David will suddenly recall something from scene 12 and go, that he sees correlations and patterns in the stories and things in a brilliant way. That which is uniquely suited, especially to shooting a film where the story is this epic and this huge. Having that ability to cause all the mind is kind of invaluable.